Learning how to speak English can seem daunting, especially if it's not your first language. However, with the right approach and consistent practice, mastering English is definitely achievable. As someone who has gone through the journey, let me guide you through the process. This isn't a quick-fix solution but rather a step-by-step method that will help you speak English confidently over time. Why learn English? Before diving into the techniques, let's first understand why learning English is so important. English is the most widely spoken language in the world, not just by native speakers but also by people who speak it as a second or third language. It's often the common language in business, travel, science, technology, and entertainment. Learning English opens doors to numerous opportunities for education, career, and cultural experiences. Understanding and speaking English allows you to communicate with people from different parts of the world, making it a vital skill in today's globalized world. 1. Build a strong foundation in vocabulary. The first step in learning any language is to build a solid vocabulary. Vocabulary is like the bricks in a building, and grammar is the structure that holds them together. Without enough vocabulary, it's hard to express even simple ideas. Start with basic, everyday words and phrases. These include greetings, introductions, numbers, days of the week, and other common phrases. As you become more comfortable, gradually expand your vocabulary to include more complex words. One helpful method is to use flashcards or apps like Anki or Quizlet to practice new words. Additionally, reading books, watching TV shows, or listening to music in English can help you learn new words in context. Don't just memorize words, try to use them in sentences. This helps your brain store them in long-term memory. 2. Practice pronunciation early. Good pronunciation is crucial in speaking English because even if you know the words, if you can't pronounce them correctly, it might be difficult for others to understand you. English has many sounds that might not exist in your native language, so it's important to familiarize yourself with them early on. One way to improve pronunciation is by listening to native speakers, paying attention to how they form sounds and where they place emphasis in sentences. You can use apps like YouTube, podcasts, or language exchange platforms to expose yourself to natural English speaking patterns. Try repeating after native speakers to mimic their accent, tone, and rhythm. Another great resource is the International Phonetic Alphabet, IPA, which can help you understand how words should be pronounced. Many dictionaries provide IPA transcription of words, which can serve as a guide to correct pronunciation. 3. Understand basic grammar. While vocabulary is essential, learning basic English grammar is equally important. Grammar is the set of rules that govern how we structure sentences. It helps in creating clarity in communication. You don't have to learn complex grammar rules right away, but it's important to grasp the basics. Start with sentence structure, like how to form simple sentences, subject, verb, object. For example, I eat an apple is a simple sentence structure. Learn about the different parts of speech, nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. Begin by forming simple sentences. and then move on to compound and complex sentences. Over time, you'll need to get comfortable with tenses. English has 12 different tenses, but start with the most commonly used ones. Present simple, I walk, past simple, I walked, and future simple, I will walk. Understanding these basics will allow you to communicate effectively. 4. Practice speaking daily. It's essential to practice speaking every day if you want to become fluent in English. The more you practice, the more comfortable and confident you will become. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are part of the learning process. You'll improve as you identify and correct your errors. One excellent way to practice is by finding a language partner. There are many online platforms, such as HelloTalk, Tandem, or Conversation Exchange forums, where you can find native English speakers or other learners to practice with. If you can't find a partner, try speaking to yourself. Describe what you're doing, think aloud in English, or narrate your day as though you're explaining it to someone else. Another powerful technique is shadowing, where you listen to someone speaking English and try to repeat exactly what they're saying immediately after they say it. This improves your fluency and trains your brain to think in English. 5. Immerse yourself in the language. Immersion is one of the most effective ways to learn a language. You don't necessarily have to live in an English-speaking country to immerse yourself in English. You can create an English environment wherever you are. Start by surrounding yourself with English media, watch English movies or TV shows, listen to English podcasts, or read English newspapers and books. The goal is to expose yourself to how English is used naturally. When watching movies or TV shows, use subtitles in the beginning if needed. Try to pay attention to how people use language in different situations. For example, how do they greet each other? How do they ask questions or express opinions? Additionally, try to switch the language on your phone, computer, or social media to English. This forces you to think in English as you navigate through your daily digital life. 6. Join English-speaking communities. Practicing English in real-life situations is crucial for gaining fluency. If possible, join local English-speaking groups, attend English meetups, or participate in conversation clubs. These groups offer a supportive environment where you can practice speaking without fear of judgment. Many cities have language exchange meetups, where native English speakers meet to practice foreign languages and vice versa. These gatherings are not only helpful for language learning but also a great way to make friends and learn about different cultures. If you're unable to find such groups locally, consider joining online communities, such as language learning forums or social media groups dedicated to English learners. 7. Focus on listening skills. Listening is a key part of becoming fluent in English. The more you listen, the more familiar you'll become with different accents, speech speeds, and ways of expressing ideas. You can improve your listening skills by watching English news channels, TED Talks, or listening to audiobooks and podcasts. Start with slower-paced content, like podcasts aimed at English learners, and gradually move to faster-paced material, such as TV shows or live discussions. If you find it difficult to understand at first, don't worry. It takes time for your brain to adapt to the sounds of a new language. One effective listening exercise is to listen to the same audio multiple times. Each time, you'll pick up more details and improve your comprehension. This helps you get used to the rhythm of English and prepares you for real-life conversations. 8. Develop a study routine. Consistency is key when learning to speak English. Create a study routine that works for you, and stick to it. You don't need to spend hours every day, but try to dedicate at least 30 minutes to an hour each day to practicing English. Break your study time into smaller, manageable tasks like vocabulary building, grammar exercises, reading, listening, and speaking. Use a notebook or language learning app to track your progress. Set short-term and long-term goals. For example, you might aim to learn 10 new words a day or have a 15-minute conversation in English by the end of the week. Setting goals will keep you motivated and help you measure your improvement over time. 9. Be patient and stay motivated. Finally, remember that learning to speak English fluently takes time. It's important to be patient and not get discouraged by mistakes or slow progress. Celebrate small wins along the way, such as successfully completing a conversation in English or learning a new phrase. Stay motivated by reminding yourself why you're learning English. Whether it's for career advancement, travel, or personal satisfaction, keep your goal in mind. Surround yourself with positive influences, whether that's friends who support your learning, mentors, or success stories of other learners who've mastered English. Conclusion: learning how to speak English is a gradual process that requires dedication, practice, and patience. By building a solid foundation of vocabulary, improving your pronunciation, understanding basic grammar, and immersing yourself in the language, you will steadily improve. Remember to practice speaking daily, engage with English-speaking communities, and stay motivated throughout your journey. With time and effort, you'll be able to speak English confidently and effectively. The time it takes to achieve fluency in English varies widely depending on several factors, including your current level of English, the amount of time and effort you dedicate, your native language, and your exposure to English in daily life. On average, here are some key factors that influence how long it might take to become fluent in English. 1. Current language level, beginner. If you're starting from scratch, fluency may take longer, typically between 1.5 to 2 years of consistent effort. Intermediate. If you already have some basic knowledge, it may take 6 months to 1 year to reach a high conversational level with daily practice. Advanced. If you're at an advanced level, refining your skills to full fluency could take 3 to 6 months with focused practice. 2. Consistency and practice. The more time you spend practicing, the faster you will improve. For example, 1 to 2 hours per day of active studying practice, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, might help you achieve fluency within 1 to 2 years. Immersive learning, where you are exposed to English all day, living in an English-speaking country or working in an English-speaking environment, can cut down this time significantly. 3. Learning environment, immersion. If you immerse yourself in English by living in an English-speaking country or frequently interacting with native speakers, you may reach fluency faster, often in 6 months to 1 year. Non-immersive learning. If you are learning in your home country with limited real-life English interactions, fluency might take longer, between 1.5 to 3 years, depending on your efforts. 4. Your native language. If your native language is linguistically similar to English, such as Dutch or German, you may learn English more quickly. For speakers of languages that are more structurally different from English, like Chinese, Arabic, or Japanese, fluency might take longer, as mastering grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary will be more challenging. 5. Learning techniques. Using a variety of techniques, like language apps, speaking with native speakers, reading books, watching English media, and practicing speaking daily, can speed up your learning. Consistent use of active learning methods, like speaking and writing, accelerates fluency compared to passive learning, like just reading or watching. 6. Motivation and goals. Learners who have a clear purpose or strong motivation, e.g., career advancement, education, or relocation, tend to learn faster because they remain more dedicated and consistent. 7. Time dedication. Full-time dedication. Studying English several hours a day and immersing yourself in English may result in fluency in 6 months to 1 year. Part-time learners, an hour or 2 per day, might take longer, typically around 1.5 to 2 years or more. General estimates for fluency, basic fluency, achievable within 6 months to 1 year of consistent study and practice, 1 to 2 hours per day. For someone with an intermediate level background, conversational fluency can be reached in 1 to 2 years for beginners with regular practice. Especially if you're actively speaking with native speakers, full professional fluency may take 2 to 3 years. Depending on your learning intensity and exposure, especially if you aim to master more complex aspects like idiomatic expressions and business English, the key to achieving fluency is regular, meaningful practice and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, especially when it comes to speaking and interacting in English. Here are some effective tips for daily English practice that will help you improve your speaking, listening, reading, and writing skills consistently. 1. Set specific goals. Start small. Set daily or weekly goals, such as learning 10 new words, having a 15-minute conversation, or completing a grammar exercise. Be consistent. Make language practice part of your daily routine, even if it's just 30 minutes a day. Small, consistent practice is more effective than cramming. 2. Practice speaking daily. Talk to yourself. Narrate your daily activities in English. For example, while cooking or commuting, describe what you're doing or thinking. Language partners. Use language exchange apps like HelloTalk, Tandem, or Speaky to practice speaking with native or fluent speakers. You can also join online conversation groups, shadowing, listen to native speakers, in podcasts, movies, or videos, and try to mimic their pronunciation and intonation by repeating their sentences aloud. This helps improve fluency and pronunciation. Record yourself, speak on a topic, record yourself, and then listen to the recording. Analyze your speech for pronunciation, grammar, and clarity. 3. Listen to English content, podcasts and audiobooks. Listen to English podcasts or audiobooks while commuting, exercising, or doing household chores. Start with simple language learning podcasts like The English We Speak and gradually move to native level ones like TED Talks or news programs. Watch TV shows, movies, Watch movies or series with English subtitles to improve both listening and reading comprehension. Afterward, watch the same content without subtitles to test your understanding. Music. Listen to English music and try to understand the lyrics. Singing along can improve your pronunciation and vocabulary. 4. Expand your vocabulary. Use flashcards. Apps like Anki or Quizlet allow you to create digital flashcards to memorize new words. Review them daily and practice using the words in sentences. Learn in context. Rather than memorizing individual words, learn them in sentences. For example, learn phrases or collocations like take a break or make a decision to understand how words are used together. Word of the day. Subscribe to a Word of the Day service from dictionaries like Merriam-Webster or Cambridge and try to use that word in conversations or writing. 5. Immerse yourself in English. Change your devices to English. Set the language on your phone, computer, and social media accounts to English. This forces you to navigate and interact in English daily. Read news and articles. Read short news articles, blog posts, or social media feeds in English. Start with simpler sources like BBC Learning English or graded readers. And then move to more advanced sources like The Guardian or The New York Times. Join English communities. Join online forums or social media groups where English is the main language, e.g., Reddit, Quora, or Facebook groups, and participate in discussions. 6. Focus on grammar. Daily grammar exercise. Dedicate 10 to 15 minutes daily to doing a grammar exercise. Websites like English Page or apps like Grammarly offer practice questions for different grammar topics. Learn from mistakes. Keep a notebook where you write down common grammar mistakes you make and work on fixing them. Practice writing. Write short essays, journal entries, or social media posts in English. Pay attention to grammar and sentence structure. You can use online tools like Grammarly to check and correct your writing. 7. Read something every day. Books and articles. Read English books or articles that match your level. Gradually challenge yourself with more complex texts, short stories. If long texts are too challenging, start with short stories. Websites like Project Gutenberg or Oxford Bookworms offer simplified English literature. News apps. Install news apps like BBC News, Reuters, or Al Jazeera and read short articles or headlines to stay updated and improve vocabulary. 8. Keep a journal in English. Daily writing practice. Write a few sentences about your day, thoughts, or plans in English. This improves your writing skills and helps organize your thoughts in English. Creative writing. Try writing stories, dialogues, or even poetry in English. This can be fun and encourages creativity while developing your language skills. 9. Use English in real-life situations, shopping, travel. Practice speaking English in real-life situations. For example, when traveling or shopping online, use English websites. Try ordering food, booking tickets, or navigating customer service pages in English. Speak with English-speaking colleagues. If you have English-speaking colleagues, try to communicate with them in English regularly. 10. Stay organized. Create a study plan. Break down your language learning goals into weekly and monthly tasks. For example, focus on vocabulary one day, grammar the next, and speaking practice another day. Track progress. Use a notebook or app to track what you've learned, the new words you've mastered, or mistakes you've fixed. This will motivate you and help you stay consistent. 11. Join English courses or classes, online courses. Enroll in online English courses like those offered by Coursera, Udemy, or BBC Learning English. These platforms have structured lessons that help with different aspects of language learning. Language schools or tutors, if possible, take lessons with a professional English tutor either in person or online. Websites like Italki or Preply connect learners with native English-speaking tutors. 12. Use English learning apps. Duolingo, fun and game-like. It's useful for practicing vocabulary in basic sentences. Memrise offers real-life videos of native speakers, helping you improve listening and speaking skills. Babel focuses on conversational English with real-life dialogues. Busuu combines lessons with opportunities to interact with native speakers. 13. Review and reflect regularly. Reflect on progress. Set aside time each week to reflect on what you've learned, what you're struggling with, and where you need to improve. Revise regularly. Regularly review vocabulary and grammar concepts you've previously learned to keep them fresh in your mind. 14. Stay motivated. Celebrate small wins. Reward yourself when you reach a milestone, such as completing a conversation in English or learning a certain number of new words. Stay positive. Learning a language can be challenging, but don't get discouraged by mistakes. They are part of the learning process. Stay engaged. Mix up your study routine with fun activities like watching English movies, playing language games, or reading comics in English to stay interested. By integrating these tips into your daily routine, you'll steadily improve your English language skills and develop the confidence to speak, read, write, and understand English fluently over time. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you learned something new today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and press the bell notification so that you never miss on new updates.